Today we're going to be changing the rear differential fluid on the Toyota RAV4. So here we are underneath the vehicle. This here is the rear differential housing. It's got the two axles that go out to either wheel, and we've got the input shaft that comes from the front of the transmission over here. So you can see that this vehicle here has an active leak. We've got some oil buildup around the differential, and it's because the seal of the right side of the vehicle here is leaking. So if we follow the drive shaft back to the differential, on the right side here where this half shaft goes out to the right wheel, there is this 10mm hex bolt that we need to remove, and that's the fill port on the differential. So now if we follow to the left side of the differential, we've got a 10mm hex bolt that sits a bit lower than the fill bolt, and that's to drain out the old oil. Alright, so just to help break the rust free, I'm going to spray it down with some PB Blaster. And I'm going to spray a little bit of PB Blaster on the drain bolt. So I got my breaker bar on the fill bolt with a 10mm hex. I'm going to break it loose. Whoa, that's a lot of oil. Alright, so now that the fill bolt has been cracked, we're going to crack open the drain bolt. Now this has a little bit of rust on here, so I'm just going to come in with my brother's toothbrush and clean this up. Alright, so I got my 10mm hex on the drain bolt. I'm just going to go with my breaker bar, plug it in, and we'll break that loose. Now it's stripping. Alright, so that bolt there looks like it's stripped and will have to be replaced. So we're going to continue exchanging the fluid on this job by going through the fill port on the other side with the pump. Okay, so in order to get the rest of the fluid out, I have this fluid transfer pump here, and I've got it connected to a little bit of a smaller hose. So I'm going to insert this smaller hose into the fill port and push it as deep down as I can. And now I'm just going to begin pumping the old fluid out. Yep, once the air bubbles are coming out, you know it's dry. Now the fluid we're going to be using is 80W90 all-purpose gear lubricant, and we're going to be pumping it in back through the fill port over here. Alright, so you can see we have our setup here. I've got the hand transfer pump with the input linked over to the gear oil here, and then we've got the output of it leads up to the fill port on the differential. And we're going to start pumping fluid in until it spills out. Alright, we're going to start pumping new fluid in. Yeah, I think it's starting to leak over now. Whoops. Okay, we're going to pull this out. No. I'm going to have to close it off really quickly. Okay, now we're just going to go in here with the breaker bar and we'll just snug this fill bolt down until it's nice and snug. Okay, that's nice and snug. Alright, so with the fill plug back in there, I'm just going to come in here with my brother's old sock and we'll wipe that down. Any excess oil, especially from the exhaust as well, because that can cause it to smell when it warms up. And that's pretty much how you replace the differential oil in any rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle. Now in this case here, we will have to replace this drain bolt from the dealership so we can do a proper drain and fill at the next interval. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one.